With us. Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good to see you again.
You know, this is, for somebody who does what I do for a living, this is frightening. And it should frighten people on both sides of the aisle, because it just matters, just depends on who's in office when this comes, because my theory is that the Republicans and the Democrats are both growing in a progressive sort of way, and it's bigger and more oppressive government.
Well, it's we the government, not we the people.
Right. So you say, and I think this is spot on, that this is not going to come, the fairness doctrine isn't going to come back. This is going to come slowly with localism. Explain what localism is.
Well, localism, I call it commissar committee, where the FCC will appoint a committee that lives in the area where a radio station exists, and that committee will listen to the radio station and let the FCC know if anyone on the radio station said something that offended them.
That's unbelievable.
And then if it offends them, they can put a fine against the radio station, or, like they want to do, they want to cut back the number of years on a license from 8 to 2, then they can say, you've lost your license.
So here's the thing that concerns me, because the newspapers are crashing,
right.
And as they crash, then there's just more of a concern of, gee, I mean, who's going to cover the city council meetings? And then you get rid of all of the Limbaughs. You get even Air America, had that been successful. You get rid of all of those things, and you have to have the local. That puts these radio stations out of business.
Right. What they're really saying is there's enough people talking about the national news on television, so you radio stations should talk about dog catcher news.
Right. Now,
lose your listeners.
You said on April 1st, and this sounds like an April Fool's.
I thought it was.
What happened?
You had 4 senators who introduced a bill on April 1st that said the President of the United States could have full control of the Internet if he declared there was an emergency. Now, the bill doesn't say what an emergency could be. It could be terrorism, it could be tea parties, or it could be the president losing the election 60 days before it.
I mean, but that sounds ridiculous. I mean, most Americans will say that's never going to happen. They're never going to control the Internet. They're never going to seize it for an emergency.
Well, why have a law then if it's never going to happen?
Well, we have a lot of laws that we don't necessarily.
Well, I understand.
I mean, we have a law against illegal immigration. I mean,
but certainly the Chinese know how to control the Internet.
Right.
And it would be a question. They would then say, you have something on an Internet site, you're okay, you can continue to do it. But you have something we don't want, so you come off.
What happens to, like, people who are, for instance, let's say Limbaugh goes off. Why doesn't he just go to XM? Why doesn't he just go to the Internet? Why doesn't he just come up with a different business model?
But why does he have to? Why does everybody have to seek a new business model when the airwaves belong to the people, not to the President of the United States, and not to the government? The Internet may have been developed by Al Gore, but it doesn't belong to Obama.
I don't think he did that, actually. So the book, does it line out what people can do?
Yes, and we put up a website. I've got a .com site. It's endoffreespeech.com. Any money I make from the book is to go into getting people to call that website. You register with us. We'll send emails to your 2 senators, your congressmen, for free, and we'll send emails to the 5 members of the FCC for free.
Okay.
And we will send them at a time when a bill is coming up.
Okay, Brad, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Name of the book is Shut Up, America.